hear me, but there we go. Ah,
Can you hear me now?
I lost the overlay in all the list of all the scenes.
Been there.
Yeah,
Wow.
really.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for another episode of the Darkening of Mirkwood. Where do I see? We're all losing things now.
Yeah,
There we go. All right.
just like we got lost in the words.
Did you get lost though? I feel like you were found, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out tonight, won't we?
But now I feel like I should paint with this music.
So, again, thank you all for joining us tonight. For those of you that are sub to us, you'll notice tonight that we do have a new emote available. Check out the Cheers emote that we have featuring Drunk Goblin. So now Hype Goblin has a friend.
My spirit goblin.
So, let's begin tonight with a recap. As usual. It's almost like this is habitual. So the Fellowship headed south from Laketown, investigating the missing shipments that were meant to be imported to Laketown and to Dale, specifically to help out Spjor, who is missing the metal she needs to commission the helm that Seowyn the Generous has commissioned her for. They headed south and came into some rough waters, where one of them almost drowned, specifically Anelia. And another one just held on for dear life in their boat and didn't do a damn thing.
Went fishing.
After getting through the rapids, after a few more miles of rowing, they came onto a shore of a small clump of woods on the eastern bank of the River Running. On this bank, they found several other boats and rafts that appeared to have been abandoned, thus pointing them in a direction that perhaps this is where the shipment went missing. So they delved into the woods, spreading out, going deeper to try and find what may have intervened or caused this. And they came across a soft, glowing, greenish-blue flame in the distance that immediately captivated two of the party members, Callan here and Aracrin. And with the other two getting entangled by vines and strung up by their ankles into the air.
I look like
Kevin's
this.
making me dizzy. Excellent. Oh.
I think
I'm back. I'm back.
Good. We good? All right.
Yep.
Upon this of getting
muted.
entranced and restrained, a mysterious elf showed up with his innocent laughter, and beckons the two of you to follow, thus following the light. And then the other two, in tow, being carried by a large tree known as a Huron. And that is where we left off. So tonight, we're going to see where this goes. How, in the words of Alice in Wonderland, how far the rabbit hole goes.
Well, knowing Aracrid and Callan here, we could go pretty far.
Yeah, we could.
I would like
Oh boy.
everybody to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Starting off with my
Yes.
worst roll.
Is it Shadow? Oh, I guess that's a Shadow.
Not my worst, but not my best.
16. Look at that.
Okay.
What I roll?
Anelia, why are you at disadvantage?
Oh
Hey, I made
no.
it 15. Ooh,
Oh, it's left at disadvantage, probably from a past roll.
Okay, so 15 for you then.
Yeah.
15, 13, 16, 15. Alright, let me just jot
Please.
those down real quick.
Please, Daddy. No. Please, Daddy. Please, Daddy.
All right, a little slower and a little quieter.
Please,
Look
Daddy.
at the camera.
Please, Daddy.
All right, that's enough.
Alright, I got it.
Start.
I got the tree bridge. Woo.
All right.
Next one.
So, in the time that the four of you are being transported to God knows where, Arakrin and Callan here, the two of you are entranced with this flame. You see the dancing lights of the greenish blue just licking the air and the embers flying off, and you just get lost in the core of the flame. And after about what feels like 2 minutes, you notice your vision goes black.
Oh shit, I can't see. I'm blinded by the lights. I need to feel
I'm
your
legally blind.
touch. Callan here.
Volley and Anelia, the two of you are being carried while being tightly wrapped in vines and bark, with each step shaking you to the core as the tree moves forward through the forest. And after probably about 10-15 minutes, you come to a clearing in the woods, and you're set down. And as you are set down, you notice that the fog gets increasingly thicker here, and there's a odor in the air that you can't quite place, and you're trying to get your bearings, and you're noticing yourselves breathing quicker to the point where you can't control it, to the point where you feel like you're probably hyperventilating, or that might just be the anxiety. It's really hard to tell. I can't control my breathing. Oh my god. Until your vision goes black.
I gotta get out of here.
All right.
Your vision goes black, and for
Oh, I'm legally blind.
all four of you,
Turn out the
You do
light.
not- you do not see anything, you do not hear anything. Your senses apparently just go gone. You lose
We all
track of time.
I
failed
wonder
to
what the
save.
DC was. That sounds like we all failed that save.
Probably an 18.
Or did you?
And now I don't have any legs. They took my legs.
Let's see. Let's switch up to this just for funsies.
I don't like you when you go to Funzy mode.
Okay. For a while, you can't quite place
Yes.
how much time has passed, but eventually all four of you come to consciousness. It
This sounds like Rivendell.
appears to be nighttime, and you look around trying to get your bearings initially. You notice all four of you are sitting up against a tree, apparently unharmed, untouched. As next things you notice, as you look about, you see about 10, 15 feet from a clearing in the wood area, and you notice hanging lanterns of yellowish gold flame lighting the area. You see fireflies dancing about, and campfires scattered to illuminate the whole clearing. You see dancing about probably 12 to 15 carefree elves, whimsically moving around, laughing, enjoying themselves, drinking wine. This is the first things you see when you come to consciousness. What would
What kind
you
of
like to do?
elves do they look like?
Well, I'm certainly glad we didn't miss the party.
What do you mean, what kind of elves do they look like?
Um,
You look over them, you see mixtures of like long blonde hair and silverish hair. They all seem to be dressed in like whites to like cream champagne colored gowns. Very light, comfortable type of clothing, all barefoot.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask if they seemed to be wearing anything that might be specific to a culture like Rivendell or Elven King's Hall.
Give me a culture check. At advantage.
Culture check? You mean
Or
traditions?
Tradition, sorry.
Good culture. Check your culture.
Are you cultured?
Are they cultural appropriated?
17. These are definitely Mirkwood Elves.
Okay.
Not necessarily in just their attire, but their features, in just how they seem to be moving about in the woods.
Callan here will stand up, brush off the dust, straighten up his clothes, and he'll just look at the rest of them. He'll say, "Why miss out on a good party?"
Does this seem to be like a specific like holiday party or a ritual of some sort, or like something that's only custom to them? Are the or Mirkwood elves?
That's the Mirkwood elf.
I was about to ask. 'Cause as a player, I have a vague idea of who they are, and I'm wondering, given my background, would my character have any idea?
Give me 1 second. Go ahead. Anelia, with your role with the traditions, this doesn't seem to be any particular holiday or special day to your knowledge.
Okay.
Callan here, depending on what you would like me to reveal, would you prefer me to have people be deafened real quick?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
I will deafen you all, and I will undeafen you when I need you.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Callan here. You find this not necessarily something you know, but oddly familiar. These are elves that's not necessarily recognized, but you understand. These are Wayward Elves.
Mhm.
These are elves that live outside of the Elven King's Hall, not necessarily under his rule, though Thranduil does claim them. These elves appear to be throwing some sort of party or festivity, which is not terribly uncommon for them. This one in particular does seem to be familiar to you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Whether or not you may have been present here or you have heard about it through great detail, this was a feast that was held at some point. Go and give me a history check
Okay.
at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and do this before I reveal everything. 15. This is a feast that was held several years ago. That was separate from the feast known as the Feast of Starlight, which was held prior to the Battle of Five Armies. So these are the Wayward Elves essentially doing something similar,
Okay.
whether it's aligned with the same reasoning, but
Okay.
that is essentially what you get out of it.
They're partying.
Yep. All right. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
So Callan here looks expectantly at everyone before he pulls out his little his little wine sack, and he drinks a little bit, and he says, I, for one, am gonna go join the party.
Can
is
you
that
at
the-
least ask them to help us get
Is-
down from here?
I say, is
You're
that
on
the
the
way?
ground.
Are we
I was
allowed
gonna
to do
say-
that?
Oh, I thought it was hanging from the tree
No, I said
still.
all four of you wake up and look around and see that you're all sitting up against a tree.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
got-
curious. Like that's okay. We're allowed to get up.
Oh,
Yeah?
I'm not gonna think too much on it.
And Callan here is just gonna go join the party and skip and dance around.
Here, as you get up and head towards everyone, you're immediately grabbed by another elf by the wrist as she makes the rounds of dancing about and spins you to one side and basically transitions you to another person as you basically join the group, moving
Yeah?
in about and dancing around.
That looks like fun.
Callan here's down for this. He'll dance.
I want to try.
Do you get up and go forth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as you get up, another elf grabs you by the wrists and basically transitions you into the group and moving about as they dance beneath the starlights and the flickering flames. About a few others gather near the edge with a harp and flutes, giving some musical tones to the evening. What are the
Now-
other two of you doing?
I'm gonna get up and just kind of just walk around, and whatever happens, happens. I guess.
Okay.
Uh,
Anelia?
Yeah, they just.
And-
they-
Anelia will find like a nearby boulder or tree stump to sit on, and she's gonna kind of spectate at first and observe what's going on. And as she's doing that, she'll have her journal out, and she's gonna sketch what she sees as the scene as a whole, and she'll take notes of what kind of music is playing and whatnot.
Okay.
She's just curious, but she's watching from a distance.
Okay. You sit yourself down somewhere and just observe the party from a corner with your
Yeah, and she's
little
not.
red solo cup being all by yourself.
Yeah, and she's not trying to be suspicious about it or try to
Okay.
hide what she's doing. She's gonna be in the light of it and just kind of just try to show that she's just interested and she's just taking notes.
Okay.
My dumbass falls.
Vol, you said you're just gonna get up and walk around. You just move about, or are you looking for anything, or?
No, nothing in particular. I'm just trying to get a lay of where we are and what's happening.
Okay. Okay. Callan here and Arakran, the two of you, basically get deeply involved in the dance and festivities
Yeah,
that are
we
going
do.
about. As you notice, as you're moving about, a couple of wineskins are being passed around through the group as you are moving about, and everyone is cheering and laughing and having the time of their lives. Anelia, after a while, you find a presence come up along beside you, another elf, who sort of sits down and looks at you and looks at what you're doing. Not going to join the festivities?
Well, I don't quite know yet. This is all very new, and my friends and I just woke up here without really any notice, and before that I got carried by a tree and nearly drowned, so I am not quite sure who everyone is and what's happening, and so I'm
you
just watching from...
You speak in very interesting tales. You and your friends just woke up here. Who are your friends?
Oh, I point at Callan here. And then I point at, Arakran.
Suck it, volley.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, no, like, what? Weren't you just You're not sneaking, are you?
No.
No.
Okay, then I'll point at him too.
Okay.
No, I'm just trolling around, looking around, being like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck, what are we?
Okay. No, I see. Well, the four of you should be more than accustomed to this.
Accustomed?
Uh-oh.
Yes. We've done this for years, hundreds of years.
What?
This is the time skip episode. Or is this the bottle episode? I can't figure out which episode we're in.
I don't think I understand. Have you been celebrating like this for hundreds of years, or?
No, we are just part of the wood. Celebrates. One with that of this earth. Do that every so often, and when we feel like it's going to go to nearby towns of man and play distant music, or perhaps move a thing or two and wow them with magic in front of their eyes.
And
All in good fun, of course.
you're saying we should be accustomed to this also?
Yeah, so why not? You've been part of this group of ours for a long time.
It's upship time skip bottle episode.
Is he screwing with me? Or does he?
Insight check.
Yeah.
Insight. Survey says.
Oh, you know what? Is that my thingy that's the +3? Or no, it's... you said you were gonna change that because I'm not proficient in it.
I didn't look at it. I didn't have time.
Okay, so
So,
take that as you will, I guess.
okay. That succeeds. So, before I tell you anything, is there anything you wish to do with that?
I want... He says it's been a long time, but I want to know, I guess, what exact number he means in terms of years or days.
Okay. So you want to make this have a magical effect where not only are you able to tell whether or not he's being honest, but actually have him tell you how long it's been?
Yeah, and what exact... Can I just have him tell me everything? Is that the thing? Or, like, what...
I would like you to be a bit more specific than that. Having him tell you everything, you could be here for hours with his life story.
Okay, fair.
Because that's so vague.
Okay, well, I definitely want to know what exactly he means by we've been doing this with them for a long time, and, I guess what they want with us, then.
Okay. It's gonna... If you are willing to pay the toll, that'll be 2 hit dice.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's all I have anyway. Sweet.
Hope you don't need those later.
I mean, haven't taken a long rest in a while.
Long rests are rare. As he's speaking, you give him this look like, I don't believe a word you are saying, and he sort of meets your gaze and just stops mid-sentence. Interesting.
We gotta re-roll.
Reroll it.
Okay.
Oh! Ooh.
Ouch. Shit.
Does that mean she
Well-
gets her hit dice back?
I'll
I was just
refund those
gonna
hit
ask
dice.
that.
Yeah, I'll refund those.
Well, thanks for
Oh.
making my magic item null.
With a
Holy
5,
shit.
based on what he is telling you and his confidence, he seems honest. doesn't seem to be messing with you.
Fine. I don't. You say for a long time. How long has it been exactly?
Oh, that is a quizzical question. What matters? What does it matter? What is time in years to the life of an elf?
I do not argue with that, but my friends and I were on a mission of importance, and import, I guess, but in aiding others.
Aiding who?
I'm gonna look around for that one elf.
You never saw him.
Okay.
Shit.
Coincidentally, as this is going on, Arachrin and Callan here, as you're making circles, going from one part into another, as the whole group seems to be just grabbing arms and passing on. In a half a second, two of you give me a perception check.
Ooh. Oh god, I'm not good in that.
18. Let's go.
18. With the 8, Arachrin, as you're moving about, everything is becoming a blur of flame, fireflies, and just shimmers of gowns and silver hair, and you can't keep track of what's going on anymore. Callan here, as you're quite accustomed to this, you are finding the steps, you're moving where you're supposed to be at the right times, and at one point you grab forearms with another elf and you pass by, and like in a slow motion passer glance, you lock eyes with the same elf you saw the other day in the forest, and then you passes back and he keeps going through the circle.
Okay, so
Can I fall down?
No,
Can I
you did
get-
not fall down.
Oh.
So I want to, now this is where it gets a little complicated, but I want to try and dance my way back to that elf.
Give me a performance check.
Party dance.
13.
13. Easy enough. You know the moves, you know the song that's being played, and you're a performer by trade, for the most part. You know how to make your way back there. It takes a couple of partner transitions, but after a while you're able to time it where you see yourself, you're about to link arms with this individual again. What would you like to do?
As
In the bites.
I am about to link arms with this individual, I'm going to ready my wineskin.
Okay.
And as we begin to link arms, I want to just sort of grab him and offer him my wineskin and direct us out of the circle of dancers.
Okay. You give me a persuasion check and advantage.
A wineskin.
Yeah, that'll do it.
21.
21. So you two see that, you hold up your wineskin, and he gives you this smirk, and you see this little twinkle in his eye, and he goes, and shakes and nods his head, and he comes over, and he grabs into the wineskin, and the two of you basically make your way out of the group.
It has been quite some time since I've been to a party like this.
It's been some months, yes, since we've done this.
I recognize you.
I would hope so.
You did the lantern trick just the other day.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean.
I came here with another elf and some men into the forest. And I saw a lantern, and you were the one who had it, and it was just so enchanting. Where did you learn such a trick?
I do not know the ways of the lamp maker. I assure you.
Insight check.
Go for it.
13.
13. He seems to be honest.
Oh,
He seems genuinely confused by your statement.
well. No matter. And I offer him another drink from my wineskin.
You said you came here the other day with a companion and 2 men?
Yes, men. Oh, it's fun to play little tricksies on them.
It is indeed. I can only assume that's what you're doing if you brought 2 men here.
Well, before I continue, I really quickly tell him about there was this man in, what was it? I believe it was Lake Town. I convinced him he had gold hiding in his ear, and he spent all day trying to smack more out of it.
He grabs you by the shoulder and moves you closer off to the side and leans into you. You've been to Lake Town.
Yes, I travel far and wide in search of more feasts and parties. An adventure.
You've seen me in Lake Town.
Have I seen him in Lake Town?
You have not. Not to your knowledge.
Does he seem aggressive now?
Doesn't seem aggressive. He seems almost worried or panicked.
I'm just gonna narrow my eyes at him, still keep a smirk on his face, and I just say, what if I have?
Well, that would not be terribly good for me. Unless you are willing to keep a secret.
Well, I am good at keeping secrets. However, it is sometimes just so troublesome. You just want to blab everything. Tell good stories, have a good time, drink wine, loose lips. Perhaps you can aid me, and by aiding me, I'll aid you by keeping your secret.
Give me a persuasion check.
22.
22. What favor would you have me do?
You see, my friends and I, we are tracking a missing shipment that was going down the river running for Lake Town.
Okay.
It had various supplies, including metal for a blacksmith and other things. It was to an importer in Lake Town. And so we went down the river running to locate it. And we entered the forest, in which we were sure the brigands had entered. And we found an elf and a lantern, and now we're here. So, do you know where those supplies are? Any idea? You're around Lake Town, so surely you've heard of something.
I'm afraid I don't understand. We're in northern Mirkwood.
Can I insight check him?
Yes.
11. How? Indulge me. How did we get in northern Mirkwood?
He seems genuinely confused by that question.
The wine has sapped my memories.
And the wine has sapped your memories of several hundred years, my friend.
Fuck.
At that point, you hear somebody off in the group yell towards the two of you. Alas! Come, the wine needs refilled! Ah, I'll be right there.
I catch his wrist before he leaves. What were you doing in Lake Town?
Any concern of yours, but I have a friend that I care to up in the wastes north of Erebor. And when I see fit, I stop off in Lake Town to help people. Not that there's any concern of yours. And he snaps his wrist back from you and walks off.
I'm going to straighten up. I'm gonna slap my face a little bit. And I'm just gonna pick a direction away from the party and just walk.
So Anelia was gonna do this too if the conversation ever came back to me.
Yeah, so unless anybody has anything else,
I'm not making
back
it
to-
a secret. Everyone can
Yeah,
see
no.
me.
back
Yeah.
to Anelia.
No, at that break of silence that she/I had of just total confusion based on what he said, she would have just without question just stood up and started walking away.
Alright.
to just to start like to start get her bearings. So like she would have looked at him and just like closed her journal and just stood up.
Did you just walk off from the camp?
Yeah, she's just gonna start looking
Okay.
around to get some bearings, look at the tree, see if they are still similar to like those in the area of Lake Town and River Running.
Okay.
And so, do I notice anything peculiar or anything about this place while I'm strolling around?
Give me a general perception check.
And hold on, I think I can add something here. Are we in the wilderness? Because my proficiency gets doubled if I can
Yep,
English.
you are in the woods.
Okay, so that'll be double.
Widow.
Maybe. There we go. And then add so doubled, so that'd be another 5.
Okay. It's pretty hard to tell in terms of scenery of what might be different from, say, Mirkwood and this patch of forest that you allegedly came to from the river running. Over time, the river probably cut through most of the forest, so they're probably one and the same in all reality. So they share a lot of similarities. So it's almost extremely hard to tell. The only thing you can come to the conclusion that there is significantly less mud type quality to the ground. It seems a lot drier where you are based on where you were when you blacked out.
Okay.
Does my walking away yield anything?
Yes. So, as the two of you, Anelia and Callan here, basically, one saying, all right, fuck this guy, and just gets up and walks away from camp, and the other one feeling this urge to just be like, I wonder, and turn on his heel and just walk off into the darkness. You basically walk 20 or 30 so feet away from camp, deep into the forest of the darkness. And after a while, even with your elf vision, it seems to be pitch black to the point where you can't see. But you feel like you're still moving. And in an instant, all 4 of your visions go black again.
Oh jeez. Oh no.
Ah.
I don't like
And
this
in
game.
a moment later, you find yourself in a slightly familiar scene. You open your eyes, and the 4 of you are standing in a market square with the sounds of gentle water lapping underneath your feet. And the clouds above are gray and dull, with no sun to be seen. You look about, and though familiar, it still seems different. You notice you are in Lake Town, but it's not the Lake Town you came from just the other day. Give me a history check.
All of us?
Do we realize?
Sure.
Do we realize that these transitionings are happening? Do we realize? Like,
At this point, you notice that one. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not like, oh, hey, we're here. Like, we're not aware of that. Okay, making sure. 16.
17.
So, what was it? 9, 22, 16, 17. Everyone except the Rakran. You all notice that this is Lake Town, but the three of you pick up on that this isn't exactly the Lake Town you know. Is that after you put a couple of things together, like, well, that building doesn't exist. Well, that's not supposed to be there. When did that get there? You slowly put it together that this is the Lake Town before the desolation of Smog.
Something is amiss here.
Are we fucking time traveling?
I'm going to look through the crowds around me just to see if I can find a familiar elf.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
14.
I would like to walk in a direction and pretend to accidentally run into somebody or bump into somebody and see if
Okay.
if they're physically there.
Yeah. 14, you don't see any specific elf. You see intermix of people. You see some elves every now and again, but mostly fishermen, traders, and people that seem relatively down about life or the atmosphere. Anelia, you walk off and you bump into somebody. He bounces back like, "Oh, pardon me, ma'am," and steps around you.
I will do a quick "oh," and then say "excuse me" and "sorry" and "Quenya," and return to the group.
Arakran, I have a
What?
crazy idea.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
You might more than you think.
Oh, okay. What is it?
I need you to stab me.
Okay.
Wait.
I was actually thinking about doing that.
I pull out my belt dagger and I will just poke him in the arm.
You just poke him.
Yeah, good enough to not deal real damage, but enough to
Yeah.
draw some blood.
You do draw blood. Callan here, since you're not resisting it, he doesn't need to roll for he doesn't roll for the attack. You do hit him. You cut across his arm. You nick him a bit. Callan here, take 1 point of piercing damage.
Is there a reason for this?
He said stab him, so...
I
Sure.
mean, I've seen better stabs from toddlers. I'm just experimenting.
I'll hurt you severely. Well, you're gonna put it that way. Fine, here, let me try it again. I'm gonna stab him harder.
He's gonna stab
say.
me for real.
Stab him for real?
Yeah, stab him for real this time.
Yes,
Alright, roll
And a
damage.
non-fatal point.
Arakran hurt him. Arakran stabbed him physically. Callan here just stabbed him emotionally.
Yeah. That'll be +2, so 4.
Okay, that one hurt.
Why are we stabbing our friends?
Well, he made fun of my initial nice stab. Now I had to give him a friendlier stab.
After being stabbed, do I notice anything different about me, the setting, any different feelings? anything?
You feel the pain. You feel the initial shock of sharp pain go through where he stabbed you. And then you feel the warmth of the blood seeping out of the wound and spreading across your body. The That's initially what you notice. You also notice that the people in the crowd that were closest to you at the time step back about 3 feet from you to give you guys space, and just sort of gawk, and like you hear one person call up for a guard.
Oh,
I just kind of like,
And that's all?
Don't mind them.
That's all for right now. That you
Okay.
notice somebody calls for a guard, and everyone seems to have reacted to what just happened.
I'm
Or
just
reacted to it.
I'm just gonna put my arms up and I'm gonna plaster on a false smile, and I'm gonna just say, "Do not fret, good citizens. We are merely performers. That was not a real knife, nor is this real blood."
and now
Yes,
you're
you're right.
appalled.
I'm gonna squeeze his arm. Like, look at how good these effects are. I'm gonna squeeze more blood out of his arm.
See, not real pain either.
This is too much fun. I do like this idea.
Everyone sort of like looks over and goes, "Okay," and whatever. If they have a child with them, they like usher them away. Like, this is
It's jelly. See, I'm gonna eat it.
another crazy elf.
You know, I'm really impressed by your commitment to the bit, Arachrin. I am.
Your blood
keep it
tastes
up.
gross.
You don't have to eat anymore. I didn't even ask you to do that in the first place.
I'm gonna lean into Anelia. Did they just become blood brothers or something?
I wonder. I think Callan here is panicking in his own way at what's going on.
Something strange is going on, and my first thought was perhaps pain and mortal injury could help us see through it.
He thought getting stabbed was a good idea.
Next time, perhaps stab yourself instead of make a show.
Stabbing myself, I feel like would be. I feel like that's easier to fake. If I make Arachrin upset enough that he wants to stab me, that's real.
I just see like the Monty Python skit with a fucking Black Knight just happening right now.
Okay, it's just a flesh wound. Here, let me do it again.
No.
Come
We've
on,
had enough.
come on, you yellow belly.
Well, despite your efforts, we are still here, and that doesn't seem to have worked.
Now, here's the thing, though. A few moments ago when we were at the feast, great feast, by the way, not my first one, I remember, I saw the elf there, and it was the same elf we saw in the forest, right?
Yes, he looked identical.
It was the same elf Arachrin and I saw in the forest when you two got strung up by the tree.
Did not even know there was an elf there.
Well, there was. And
That's
I was so busy. I was so busy looking at the tree that looked at me back.
I tried to talk to him, and he played dumb something about us being with them for hundreds of years. And I mean, I know I'm 113, but come on.
A similar elf said the same thing to me when he was speaking with me.
But I feel we may be onto something if we can find that elf again. Because in the last setting, let's call it, he told me he comes to Lake Town sometimes, and perhaps that's where this stems from.
Oops.
Because as far as I know, you know, there's no way to go to the past. There's no way to go to yesterday.
Did he say why he would be in Lake Town?
He said he had someone to care for. North of Erebor in the wastes. I didn't quite make the connection between that and Lake Town, but he left pretty quickly.
I suppose we have no other choice.
Ugh.
Well, there's gotta be a reason why we're brought here.
Well,
So we would like
Is there Is there anything nearby, like something equivalent of a newspaper or
A town
a calendar
crier.
that's giving the date for the day? Or year at least?
You were asking me to know a lot of random lore about Middle Earth right now.
Sorry.
You could just say
That
it
is
is
specific.
Okay,
no,
I guess the reason
there isn't. Mostly, you wouldn't find something like that. You'd probably find that in the Shire, and you might find it in like Minas Tirith. And a lot of tracking of dates in time comes out of the records of Minas Tirith.
so there is no way of currently knowing how long or soon before the desolation of Smog.
You could probably get a general idea by asking commoners, but for the most part, they might not know.
Okay.
We can ask the date.
What year is it?
Does the dragon still
Yeah,
live
pretty
under the
much.
mountain?
I mean, if we get an idea what the date is, we can figure out, like, okay, desolation. Before we ask, do I know the date at least of the desolation of Smog?
You would, yeah.
Wait,
Okay, I
if
just
this
wanna
is
make sure
before the
before I'm going
desolation
to
of
ask.
Smog, that means King Bad isn't a king and he's here in Lake Town.
Possibly.
I don't know
Okay,
if
I
Callan
wanna
here would
ask
know
somebody
that, to be honest.
I want to go ask someone the date before we keep going bananas right now.
Brian's like, I have to find a date.
Just the year. I don't need like it's. I don't need a month and a day. I just want a year. That's all I want.
That's a good face right there.
What do you
Should
think?
make it an emote.
What do you think, Arachrin? How do we get out of this?
We go back to the forest if we can.
I mean, to be fair, when Anelia and I left the feast, shortly after, everything went black, and then we woke up here.
What if we tried to return to that same spot?
Where we originally went down the river running.
Mm-hmm.
Volley, you somebody tells you that it's July in the year of 2940 of the Third Age.
That's in the future.
And the Desolation of Smog, or to be more specific, the Battle of Five Armies, didn't happen until 2941 of the Third Age. So
Okay.
you're roughly a year away from that day.
Interesting.
So I think we have a couple of courses of action here. We could try and return to the same forest down the river running. Or we can try to look around Lake Town here for our elf friend.
I say we look for the elf friend. You said you saw him in Lake Town. Might as well try and find him.
I agree to try that first while we are here.
Indeed. If this is some sort of enchantment, it is for a reason. That reason may be just to troll us. Come, let's ask around, shall we?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask some, just real off the. I'm gonna go to the tavern, the inn,
Okay.
and or at least where I think it is.
Okay. you do find one that you find one in the place that you expected to. It's a bit smaller. There's a couple of other buildings sandwiching it for the most part, so the setup is slightly different than what you remember, but you do find one.
And I will enter.
All right. You walk inside. It's quiet. There's a few people in there. Seems overall pretty same bit of atmosphere as outside. People seem generally down. Which is oddly familiar or oddly strange to you because you've been in this part before, and the inn here is usually pretty lively. But there are some people in here. Different barkeep.
I will go to the barkeep. Ah, good sir. Good day to
what's
you.
your poison?
I'll have to think on that for a minute. While I do, I'm looking for an old friend of mine that I've lost track of. An elf like me, perhaps a bit eccentric, comes to town every once in a while. He has a friend here he cares for. Any of that ringing a bell?
Oh, really? If you're looking for an elf, I might suggest the elf quarters.
That is a good point. Why didn't I think of that?
Don't know.
Hey.
Now, if you're not going to eat or drink or order anything, I suggest you get out. Times are tough, and I can only afford space for paying customers.
Why don't we liven it up in here a little bit?
What are we doing?
You can liven it up by buying something.
I'm going to pull out my flute. And I'm going to play.
All right. Give me a performance check.
What is happening?
I don't know.
23.
23. You play a nice, soft melody through the flute that wraps around the entirety of the inn. And after getting a few bars into the song, the few people that are in here look up at you, take something off their plate. Sit down. That was a high DC.
That is a high DC. If 23 doesn't cut it. Wow. And I would just bow. Because a showman will not debase himself.
Excellent.
Right. This was a total waste of time, everybody. I don't know where to go from here. The innkeep said, if we're looking for an elf, probably the elf district. Don't know why I didn't think of that before.
Well, let's take a look there then. Can you describe what this elf looked like, since I haven't seen him?
And I'll describe him to the best of my ability.
Yeah, he was pretty pale skin, with blue eyes. At the time that you saw him, his hair was pretty much shaven on the sides and pulled back in like a tight ponytail, with brown hair actually. And he was wearing like patches of armor that was made up of like tree bark and leathers and generally just sort of like woodland-esque cloth to cover it.
And none of this sounds familiar at all to me, correct? Like the description of the facial features or anything?
No.
Okay.
You've not seen this elf before.
Okay. Well, Arakran and I know where the Elf District is, since recently we were there with our, investigation for other leads, so,
Well, you see, Brad guy.
If I do not know if he is there, but that would certainly be interesting if he was.
I like bread guys.
He was quite pleasant, yes.
Well,
Let's,
lead the way,
let's go.
Nelia. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Racken and I are gonna
I
go
know the way too.
lead the way to the Elven district.
Play as a 3-year-old, basically.
All right. You make your way to the Elven Quarter.
I have
Which is
powdered
over-
reed mace on me, and technically that keeps me awake for 3 days. I'm tempted to see if that has any impact, but I'm not gonna touch it right now.
You guys make your way over to the Elven Quarter. You see several elves, obviously, moving about. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you guys are looking for this specific one.
All of us? Or...
For those that are
6.
looking,
Hey, look,
I'm
same
helping
score.
Aracrin try to find the bread guy.
20.
And now you can find the bread man.
Anelia, based on the detailed description that Callan here gave you of this mysterious elf, cutting through the crowd, you see across the way, dressed in common clothes, with hair that's brown, but not pulled back in that ponytail, and it's a bit longer than described. But the facial features and the eye color and everything match. You see him across the way, with a small size leather sack on his back, and a walking stick in the other hand, or at least appears to be a walking stick. It is actually quite tall. It's about 10 feet that he's carrying.
Callan here. Up there.
So how do we want to play this? Mean or not mean?
I would suggest the latter first. Because for all we know, he may not recognize us whatsoever.
Perhaps. Let us find out. And I will approach him. And I will, as I do, I'm just staring at him. I want to see if he notices me. And just try to, like, read his initial expression. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot walking stick. I want to see his initial expression to see, like, if he recognizes me at all.
Okay. You watch him for a bit. He walks over to one building, talks to another elf back and forth for a bit, and he looks over across the way, and he looks in your direction, doesn't do anything about it, continues talking, gathers his things, and begins heading off towards another direction, back towards the main section of Lake Town, but doesn't leave the Elven Quarter just yet. He gets stopped by somebody else, and they start talking for a while, and he sort of is just looking around as he's conversing, and he locks eyes with you this time. He's like, this guy's watching me. And he returns to his conversation and breaks eye contact, finishes it, and then makes his way into Lake Town.
Any sense of recognition?
No, he seemed more or less like, why is this guy talking to me? Or why is this guy looking at me?
I'm gonna find him, follow him, and approach
like high
him
school over again for
openly
me.
now.
Okay. You're gonna find him?
Yeah, because he just entered Lake Town proper. He can't be that far away, out of my way. I'm going to actively go walk up to him now instead of just creeping on him like a serial killer.
Yep. Okay. You takes you probably about 30 seconds to find him after like turning a corner, but you track him down pretty quickly. You walk up to him and he's looking at you going, "Can I help you?"
How is your friend doing? Wastes
Fine.
north of Erebor. You see,
Why do I feel like this is about to go very south?
my companions and I recognize you. And we found you in a forest south near the running river running. And then we all seemingly lost consciousness and woke up to a feast in the wood, and you were there too. Seemingly having conflicting memories than our own. And now I find you here. And at the feast in the wood, you told me about your friend that you visit, that you take care of, north of Erebor in the wastes. So, who are you, and why are you so central to everything affecting us right now?
Well, I don't quite understand everything you are saying right now. Yes, I have a friend north of Erebor whom I care for and see to every now and again when I can. As far as your blabbering is considered about what's happening to you, I don't rightfully know what you're talking about.
Well, we are seasoned travelers and adventurers ourselves. Why not we help you with your friend? Are you going there soon?
Mere mortals are not allowed to visit my friend.
Do
you understand?
Do I look like a mere mortal, my friend?
Yes, you look like another common barding amongst everyone here. Now, if you don't mind, I have some wine to deliver for Halbreck.
I point at my ears incredulously, like he just fucking called me a barding? The audacity! I cannot believe that.
Can I look at the reflection of myself? Like, if I lift up my arm to look at my armor, can I see myself based on a reflection?
Yeah, you can probably make out some semblance of a reflection. If I can think of words.
She's the shield.
I don't have a shield.
I have a big shield.
Oh, well, I have my armor. That's what I thought of first.
You hold it up and you see what looks to be some tan-like facial skin. Brian, they're words. You can think of them. Tan complexion with like thick eyebrows, brown eyes, and like reddish medium length hair.
Callan here. What do I look like to you?
What does she look like to me?
Anelia.
You look like Anelia. Like, you look like you.
I'm gonna hold up my arm to his face so he can look at himself.
Would the shield be better used to look into?
You see a shaven head, no pointy ears, and
it's just you. It's just you.
Callan here has to hold back a retching sound. Oh, that is gross. Please take it away. Take it away.
We must look different to everyone else now, other than ourselves.
He is the key to all of this. He's been at every location we've been to. I want to follow him.
Okay. So you...
I was hoping my teammates would say something. They didn't, so I will stealth after him.
I didn't even act like, alright, I guess.
No,
I
thought it was...
In musical terms, I give 2 beats. If it's silence, I move on.
Not a whole lot of time to think there. But I wouldn't even...
Yeah, I want to be stealth so he can't see me following him.
It's stealth checks for those that are being schnicker.
I still have all of my
why not?
abilities, right?
As far as you're aware.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow further behind them because I'm not good at stealthing unless
Natural 20 from Callan here.
31.
show
I'm
up.
gonna follow behind a little bit further back.
I was gonna
Okay.
do the same. So Arachne and I will just kind of leisurely be like 60 feet away or something. I don't know, and just be like, yeah, you know,
Okay.
whatever. We're just walking.
Okay.
We just
So you try to blend with the crowd and spread out a bit to keep your tabs on this elf, which Callan here, if you recall, the name he was called back at the feast under the stars
Hallis.
was Hallis. You track him as best as you can. He goes back into like the artisan district of Lake Town, and he enters into a building that you notice that has an iron sign above it that looks to be in the shape of a pretty elegant like decanter for wine. He goes inside, and he is in there for 5-10 minutes, and he comes back out with another individual that's wearing some like a brown cloak, fairly common clothes. But the two of them are talking. They shake hands, and a bunch of other what looks to be like employees or helpers come out with about 5 crates, carrying them, and Hallis sort of gestures to them and says, yes, follow me, and they walk off and start heading back towards the actual shipyard of Lake Town.
Oh, hey, I remember that place.
Yeah, I'll keep following.
You basically able to follow him all the way up to the shipyard. He hops onto a medium-sized raft. Everyone's plops the crates down, and you also notice before the crates even get there, there's a couple of other goods on there. The boat itself is pretty much filled at this point once the new crates get added to it. The helpers wave Hollis off, and they walk back up, passing you as they leave. Pay no mind to you. They don't seem to care, even if they did notice you. At that point, Hollis looks over at the waters, takes the rope anchoring him to the docks, takes it off, and then takes the stick, puts it into the water, and then shoves off from the docks and begins moving out into the actual lake.
Damn. He's getting away. It's time for a raft chase. Is there another raft here?
There is another raft here, and as you start making your way towards it, and Hollis exits essentially the actual shipyard and into the proper area of Esgaroth, everyone's vision goes black.
No.
Oh my god.
And that's where we're going to take a 5
I'm
minute
legally blind again. Legally blind again.
So don't go anywhere. 5 minutes. We'll be right back and see how this plays out. Because I think everyone is thoroughly confused.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
slowly.
Mr.
I
Krabs,
have
I'm
theories.
so confused.
All right. Welcome back. So, we are going to continue the second half tonight, but before we do, we are going to have our usual little announcement. So, thank you all for joining us tonight as our first stream of the week. We'll be back tomorrow night, where Lindsay will be painting more miniatures with our weekly paint and chat. She's got a big one in store tomorrow night, so be sure to come by and check that out. Keep her company, keep the rest of us company as we chat along, and she paints to her heart's content.
Waiting to do this guy for weeks, probably months, I think.
A while.
Yeah.
I think it was the summer when you got this one, so we just haven't gotten
while.
around to it. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. And then later on this week, we'll be streaming our Let's Play of Knights of the Old Republic again. Lindsay's playing through that for the first time. No spoilers, no backseating, all that fun stuff. It's hilarious.
I'm a terrible person in that game.
And normally on Saturdays we have a DM prep session with Matt, but we are not having it this weekend. He will not be in town. Perfectly understandable. He's allowed to do what he wants. I'll just dock his pay. It's fine.
Wait, I'm getting paid?
Hey, I did that bit earlier.
Moving on.
It's a good bit.
So other than that, if you've been with us for a while now, or even if you haven't and you've joined in with us tonight, welcome. You've heard the music and the soundscapes that we've been playing in the background. Those are all courtesy of Battle Bards. So if you go over and get yourself a Battle Bards subscription, it will get you access to stream their entire library, including plate mail games, 20% discount on all in-store purchases, and access to a caster or even a soundboard so you can mix and match even your own private audio or what have you. So you can have arrows, sound effects, and clashing of metal, and people fighting each other, and then epic background music going on that you can bring to your tabletop adventures either in person or virtually like we do. So if that is something that interests you, and I highly recommend it, you should head over to battlebards.com and get yourself a BattleBards Prime subscription. And if you do, use the coupon code ADVENTURE. And just to be clear, adventure is because of us. We're AdventureCheck.
You have to roll your adventure check.
Yeah.
Are you proficient in it?
You better be proficient. If you're an adventurer, how are you not proficient in it? I mean, so.
Or hope you are.
All right. I believe that's everything. Oh, no, that is not everything. We got another announcement. I just remembered because I'm dumb. Do you enjoy football?
Oh.
Do you enjoy competitive games? Do you enjoy shenanigans? Do you enjoy the Super Bowl? If you answered yes to any of those questions, if you answered no to some of them but yes to the others, if you mix and matched your answers, if you were straight no at all but you enjoy us, then you should join us on February 6th because we are going to be playing Brawlhalla and we are going to be doing a Super Brawl tournament where we are going to have teams playing football in Brawlhalla. It's loads of fun, and we're going to have a tournament going through that, and we're going to beat the living hell out of each other, and there's going to be one winner at the end of the night. What that winner gets, we don't know, but it's going to be fun. Stop on by. We will be posting that more in Discord and our Twitter as we get closer and around the time. But February 6th, mark your calendars. We do not have J-Lo doing the halftime show, unfortunately. We couldn't get her. We tried.
She doesn't take IOUs.
We have to settle for One Direction.
Listen, man, I can rock what makes you beautiful, all right?
Carry.
DMCA.
Yeah. So, that is the announcements. We're done now. Get back into it and continue this session of the Darkening of Mirkwood. So, as the four of you see Halas shove off with his raft filled with goodies and make his way throughout the lake, your vision goes black yet again. And this time, instead of coming to a moment later somewhere else or in some familiar place, you find a flash of events come before your eyes. You see Hollis coming back and forth between Lake Town and leaving with trade goods and going back towards either into Mirkwood or down the river running. You see him going back into Mirkwood to be with his elf friends and having their feasts and their whimsical dancing, and then going north into the wastes and meeting some sort of creature that he apparently is tending to. You see him do this time and time again as these memories flash before your eyes. And then over time, you see that memory occur less and less. You see the actual trade work that he does in Lake Town increase, and the actual elven merriments decrease, and taking care of this creature decrease as well. So that all comes to you in an instant. And then you all come to once again.
This
And
would
you
have been a
find
great trip for the times Vidar gave us stuff.
And you all find yourselves standing on the face of a mountain, looking out towards the horizon, seeing another mountain range further back, and the sun just rising in the east. You feel a cold wind brush across you.
Is there a
Is-
beacon?
Is there a beacon? No, there is no beacon.
Oh,
Is there a
You see no
Hollis?
beacon.
The beacons are lit.
Let me just play this for some ambient music here.
Gondor calls for aid.
You look around, and you see pretty much a wasteland out in front of you. And as you're getting your bearings, somebody walks up from behind you, stands up, pretty much slightly off to in front of you, looking out towards the landscape with you. And you notice that this person is much shorter than the rest of you, and they appear to be a dwarf. They sort of sigh. Well, good luck. I rather wish I was going with you. You might see a dragon along your quest. And you may not believe it, but during our adventure, I never laid my eyes upon Smog. And some people from Raketown described his wrath as being terrible and beautiful at the same time. Is that not strange? He looks over at the rest of you. Well, good luck. Safe travels. And he turns back and begins to head back into the mountain.
Wait.
no.
Hmm?
w- This
Well,
might be a very weird question, but how do I look today?
How do you look? You look like the same elf I've always known you. Why do you ask?
It's just been, strange times and all that.
Good luck on your journey, Rathan.
see, they're a lot more shocked than me.
Hua.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Okay. Wow.
alright. For a split second during break, my brain was like, what if this is related to that guy? And I was like, nah, there's no way.
Talon here has no idea who that is, though. So,
I know, that's what makes it hard, too.
Rathan? First it was Hollis, now it's Rathan?
What the fuck is happening?
I want to see what I look like.
You know,
I try to just look in the reflection of the shield. I'm assuming I don't look like me.
You don't. You see about medium length brown hair and dark green eyes, and a pale complexion similar to the one you're familiar with, though the armors you're wearing seem to be tighter fitting leathers and seem to be matching more in the ways of woodland and more like a camouflage almost.
But not Hollis.
Not Hollis, no.
Okay. I am very confused. Of it. Hollis.
I'm sorry, is there something I said?
I'm just gonna go out on a. I'm just going on a limb here, and I'm just gonna say, you don't know Hollis, do you?
Hollis. No, I can't say that I do.
Yeah. Well.
Look, I know this is a big ask. You just spoke with King Dane, and I'm just letting you go from here. With the three of you, you've done a lot of good so far in this world. And I know heading north from here is a big ask. And there's a lot. There's a lot up there that we don't know about. Be safe. With
Oh,
Ethan.
like-
Nayla. Nathan.
Here's my notebook.
Oh shit!
We'll come back to us. We wish you all the luck.
Okay. How?
Oh.
What's his name? And I point to Aracrin.
Oh boy, that's me.
No, you guys.
My
are-
Point over and was like, huh. When did he get there?
It's a
Nathan,
big-
you got a squire now? You're moving up in the world, aren't you?
No, I can't say I am.
I can't. You know what? I don't bloody well know his name.
Okay,
I'm
that was
looking
just
through
that
my
was,
shield.
that,
What do I look like?
that was a test. You passed.
Excellent, excellent. But I'll tell you what, Nathan, when you get back, we're having ale.
Very good. Looking forward to it.
So Nayla rings a bell for all of us, right?
No, I know.
Uh,
the character.
Vaguely, for what having met her in Lothlorien.
Yeah.
Depending, that's months ago at this point, so it's whether or not you deemed it vital enough information to hang on to. But yes, you have met Nayla. This person, if you were to recall, does look less stressed and younger than the one you met in Lothlorien.
Right.
And you hear the squawk of a very large eagle circling above.
Is it
Oh.
dwarf sized?
Dwarf size.
God.
The words that go down in history.
And Mr. Rube.
I do too.
So I mean, I feel like that blew my theory out. Well, I have no idea who. I mean, who are these people?
I'm extra confused now.
Where's Hollis? He was the one we were chasing. Wait. Hollis said he was going north of Erebor to take care of a friend. The people we are now are going north. That can't be a coincidence.
So they have to be connected somehow. Do we press on then? Or at least try to before we black out?
I mean, if this isn't real, we could literally do anything we want and there are no consequences. We'll just be thrust into the next vision. But let's go north and see what happens.
All right.
I don't know where north, but I guess we'll just walk and see what happens.
Do I see when I look at Callan here, I see Callan here, I don't see Rythan?
You see Callan here.
Okay, never mind then.
Any other
Alright.
questions?
I mean, we got what the southern side of Erebor, or we on the northern side of Erebor?
Northern.
Okay, so we don't got to walk around the mountain.
Nope.
Well, let's just walk that direction, and I point away from the mountain.
Okay. You guys take your step way north, away from Erebor, and you make your way down the mountain, and the dwarf that left you, for those that are curious, Ori, waves you off.
Sorry.
I knew it was one of those dwarves, but there's like 12 of them. I have to keep their names straight.
3 of these players now are starting to put things together, but I don't think they've figured it out yet.
No, I'm
Yeah.
trying though.
The
I
other 2, like, blindsided, like, what the fuck?
I have a pretty good idea. I have a pretty
Alright.
solid theory, I think.
I might have something, but I'm just kind of waiting for more pieces to come up.
You
Hopefully.
guys make your way down the mountain and begin heading north. Initially, it's easy, but you start crossing into the area known as the Waste, which is mostly hard terrain and just desolate land as far as the eye can see. your vision sort of blurs a bit after you blink, and after a moment you feel further away than where you were. It feels like time has passed, though it was in a blink of an eye. As you move further north, you eventually see in the distance a pool of water that is like the first sign of anything different than just desolate wasteland in a long time. At least that's how it feels. As you get closer, you see a figure sitting by the side of this pool. At first, as you get closer and closer, this figure looks like a spindly, leafless tree covered in dead moss and ivy. But as you
last time I thought that.
draw closer, it begins to take the shape of more of a elderly woman or something to that effect. The skin is brown and wrinkled, and the body is hunched over with a lifetimes of work, it looks like. The eyes are sunken and sad.
Oh.
She stands up, her feet are immersed in the brown water and sways gently back and forth, sometimes trailing her thin fingertips in the pool. She does not move while she speaks, but she looks in your direction as you get closer.
Do we talk to that thing?
Can I quickly like peer over to look in the water to see our reflections?
Sure.
I'm gonna do the same. See, like, who do I look like now?
Yeah, really.
I was some guy named Nathan earlier. What the fuck is that?
That's a dumb name, let's be honest.
Wow. All right. It's like
I'm
I had to
just
change it
kidding.
last second.
I'm
I
just
know.
kidding.
I was trying to let people into like our world was like, be like, yeah, it's not like I had to change his name last minute or anything.
Anelia, you see the reflection of a human woman wearing leathers and hides with a large bow on her back and her long brown hair. Volley, you see a man with a slightly taller stature than your own, wearing chainmail and a short brown hair sort of cropped over to the side.
I just look, okay.
I approach the strange being
Okay.
because I guess it's a part of the memory we have to see.
Yes, as you do
hi.
get closer, she sort of beckons you guys closer.
Matt, hi.
Hello,
What up?
Oh.
you don't happen to know someone by the name of Hollis, do you?
Or a Rythan?
Show me a Rythan.
It has been some time since I've seen him.
Since you've seen Hollis.
Yeah. Rythan, I do not know.
Okay.
I am... Well, I had a name once. It went away, like all the rest. Call me Witherfinger. And she looks at Rythan. Or she looks at you, Callan here.
With a finger?
Say-
Too many things.
Which-
Ominous
Too many
name.
things
Almost
keeping
which.
track here. Come close, child. Let me smell you and touch.
Am I still wounded from when Arachne stabbed me?
Let me touch your skin.
Are you asking physically or hit points wise?
Well, in character, I'm feeling for the wound.
It's not there.
Hit point wise, I still have it missing in case it has an impact.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll approach. Maybe if I die, I'll be knocked out of this
What do you think she's gonna do to
Groundhog
you?
Day. With a name like Witherfinger,
Yeah, your finger's gonna wither. You're not gonna die.
as a player, I remember exactly who this is. Callan here has no idea though.
I don't.
I don't.
You get closer, her arm slowly reaches out towards you, and the index finger sort of strokes the side of your face. And the finger feels rough, almost bark-like. In fact, after a second, it dawns on you, no, this is bark. This isn't immortal by any means.
This isn't okay.
Do you drink wine?
No. Tell me, what purpose do you have to come this way?
You know, honestly, I don't know. I'm not even me. These memories. I'm living someone else's memories, and the person I'm living is traveling north for some great cause.
It's anybody's fucking guess.
They're looking for something in the wastes. But you must be what Hollis was taking care of. You must be who he was taking care of. I know Hollis.
Would the rest of you come closer?
I'll walk up.
Oh, same.
No, walk up close enough to her where she can touch or talk, so I can feel violated. It's fine.
Arachne, do you get closer?
Sure.
I
Like how everyone's like, yeah, sure, I guess.
I mean,
Like
what's the word?
Like,
What else
what
are we
does your
gonna
character want? Or are they like, fuck this?
My character could use
And
some
then
therapy,
what?
I guess.
Callan here wants answers.
yeah. Same.
Also, I have to wrestle with the fact that I remember what happened here
Yep.
as a player,
Yep, you do.
and I can't, even though I wasn't a player at the time. Hint, 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 hint.
Oh.
Well, I see you are not orcs.
Wait, hold up here. I think okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm an orc.
Did you lead orcs here, though? There better not be orcs.
Honestly, everything went black, and then I don't remember how I got here. I was just here. But I'm usually pretty stealthy. I can give you an example. I could go hide somewhere. You won't find me. So I doubt we were followed.
Get me.
Callan here, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Here we go.
At disadvantage.
A natural one, baby.
Oh dear.
Natural one. As you are standing there responding to Witherfinger saying, I just got here. I don't know what's going on. I've been porting back living memories. Are you who Hallis has been taking care of? And as you're doing this, you don't notice that your hands, as you're gesturing, moves off to your hip and grips the hilt of your sword. And in one fell swoop,
God.
And as all of you look on as Callan here seemingly doing this in the blink of an eye, you see Witherfinger standing there. And then you see and as the body divides and slides off into the water.
I just look at him. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Did you do that on purpose?
And everyone's vision goes black.
Oh my! Ah!
Round and round we go.
And a moment later,
A few moments later.
wow, that is funny how those rules work.
Yeah, hilarious.
A moment later, Callan here, you come to first. Once I find... You open your eyes and you see above you, or basically in front of you, a canopy of trees in the night. And you see embers dancing above in smoke. In the silence of the night, you hear a small crackling fire not too far from you. And you appear to be laying on your back as you begin to move around, going, okay, where the hell am I now? And at this point, you actually notice your hands are bound.
Oh no. Are my companions with me?
You look to your left and look to your right, and you see them all on their backs, unconscious as it seems, bound by the hands, by the wrists.
I tried to just stealthily like look around my feet, look around just all around me, see if I can see who might have bound us.
You look around, you look towards the fire, and sitting on a log, you see an elf slumped over, his hands
Is it
gripping his face,
Hollis?
and his hair pulled back. Yeah, you do see Hollis. He's just staring into the fire.
I'm gonna try and wiggle free out of my bindings, and I would argue that I could attempt this because my background is magician. But
You're gonna try and wriggle free?
yeah, just wiggle free of my bindings.
Sure. Go ahead and since you have the background of magician, you're probably used to it. So give me a sleight of hand at advantage.
Ooh, at advantage. Ooh, thank you. You didn't
And
have
as you're
to.
doing this, you hear
13.
Hollis sort of sigh. So, you would also make that choice, would you? 13. You wriggling free back and forth, and as you do, the rope's starting to sort of feel a bit tighter. But as you move off towards it and then back through, one of your hands slips through.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the rope, set it to the side, and then I'm gonna try to just stealth over to Hollis.
Okay.
Just slowly and quietly stealth over to him.
Go ahead and give a stealth check.
26.
26. You stand up and sort of creep over in that direction. He takes his hand up off of his face, looks up, and his hair sort of flops down a bit as it's gotten a little ragged and wild. You don't have to creep around.
You know, I was just gonna come and sneakily sit by you and hopefully surprise you, but that's fine. And I just walk up and I sit by him. So, is this real? Is this another vision, Hollis?
No, this is real.
So, I assume the vision I saw was of the person you were caring for being killed by somebody.
One of the last Entwives of Middle-earth. I made it my responsibility to keep her safe. Keep her cared for. While I'm off merrymaking with the elves and running errands for the men, I left her unguarded. And because of the malice of people in this world, she was struck down. And since you're here, it seems like you have made that same decision.
Well, I didn't make any conscious decision. I wasn't even sure I was in any sort of control. Things seemed to unfold in the visions, regardless of what we tried to do or what we wanted. It was very confusing. And all I know is I didn't make the conscious decision to strike her down. It was almost as if it was made for me. My body acted as if it was meant to be, and I had no choice.
I inspected her body when I finally returned. The only determination I could come with that only an elven blade could cut like that. One of my own. One of the ones that are supposed to protect these woods. That are supposed to protect the things of Middle-earth. I sought vengeance. I sought malice. I delved into the darkness that is this world.
Did you find answers?
I found hatred. There are no answers. If someone of my own could strike down a beautiful creature like that when I was supposed to be there. So I took it upon myself to test anyone who comes by, anyone who delves too far into the luxury that is this world. Give them the same choice, the same events. Every single one so far has failed by making the same choice, by striking her down. The events you saw were all real. You all had choice. I've lived for hundreds of years. Anelia, at this time, you wake up.
Aw, I don't make a save. You had
What?
Matt make a wisdom saving throw.
That was for cutting off
That
the
was
head of
for
the
him to strike her
Entwive,
down.
Yeah, so okay.
because I was in the role of Wraithen.
So, if you all recall, at the beginning of tonight's session, I had you all make wisdom saves.
Mhm.
Yep.
That determined the order you wake up.
Oh, okay.
Coincidentally, Callan here was the highest. He woke up first.
Ah.
Anelia was the next highest. Actually, Aracrin and Anelia tied, so they both wake up right now.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Then there's me. Fuck.
I've
Can
lived for hundreds of years.
Oh my god, I remember this now! Wow, that took a while. Oh my god, I was like, I don't remember this scene at all! And then it just happened.
I rejected the halls of my king, and I took with a band of elves, who we made merriments under the stars and the trees, and we became one with the woods.
Sounds
my
similar to me.
My one duty: protect this land. Hundreds of years. And these last 8 have been the longest of my life.
Have you tried to seek the one who specifically brought her down? Why not just go straight to the one who did the wrongdoing?
Not that easy. Initially, I had no idea who it was, and it was only those that experienced the memories through my magic. Only the ones who really knew who was there. I just knew the result when they woke up. And for the longest time, I didn't want to know who it was. I had a fear that that might put it all to an end. It means that she would be finally gone forever. The two elves give me a traditions check.
That is not my strong suit. Oh,
Uh,
Wow, okay.
that's a natural 20. I'm not a smarty pants, but there we go. Natural 20. The dice is speaking.
They have spoken.
Callan here, in this conversation, you know, there's two distinct things with the elves. So, they are immortal, and when they either feel that it is time for them to move on, or something happens in their life, they don't necessarily die unless they're struck down, but they head west. They head for the Undying Lands, the Grey Havens. One of the main things that can bring an elf to realize that they need to move on from this world is to be struck with great grief, great sadness. You get the feeling that Hollis here met that point some time ago, but he has remained.
Traditionally, you would have gone west by now.
I'm to go west when my job is not yet done.
And what job is that?
Protection of this forest. The protection of its creatures. Tell me, what would you do? And the one thing that you were meant for, the one thing that you deemed your responsibility that you failed at, what would you do in my situation where the one thing you held dear was taken from you?
you find a new purpose. Something else to do.
Spend most of my life in the arms of one of my brethren, or trading wine from Lake Town between the Elven King's halls.
You could always go west now. Leave it all behind. Don't stew in the hatred and darkness that remains.
Volley, you wake up.
Yay.
Welcome back, Poppy.
The hell happened?
Oh, hi,
Wow.
Volley.
Oh wait, I'm all tied up.
I take one of my daggers and I throw it right next to Volley in the dirt.
So I'm gonna put my arms around the dagger and just start cutting, and then
Hollis sort of
hopefully break.
looks around at all of you. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Callan.
Ho ho ho! This is Callan here's speciality, but maybe the dice have something else planned.
You have burned 2 natural
28.
20s. Jesus.
I have expertise with persuasion.
Yeah. 28. He looks around. West. Somebody like me really deserve an ending like that. The things I've done. Judging those that come through here. Putting them towards the test of what they have done. And he looks over at the 3 of you, excluding Callan here. You were all there. You all had the same choice. Whether you drew the blade or not, you could have prevented it. Though you stood there and did nothing. How are you any more innocent? Or how are you any less innocent? Guilty words.
I don't think any answer we provide right now will help with the grief you are feeling, nor will it change what actually happened.
I also don't think your test was fair.
I'm gonna go wait in the car.
You sent us into a realm we knew.
What
we
is
were-
fair about life ceasing from existence? What is fair about something being taken from you?
That's not fair. But the fact the choice you gave us wasn't fair because we had knowledge that we weren't where we are, and so we were looking for any way out of the dream. So therefore, the choices we made weren't going to be if we were doing it out of generosity or stuff. We were trying to survive and escape what a dream. Since our
So
memory.
you believe that
back.
you were in a dream, therefore all your choices you make are not important? You feel like if you run into somebody or you cut them, that it does not matter?
Am I
All the thing
injured
that
on
matters
my
is
shoulder,
you
in
and what you're
reality?
concerned about? Nothing else in this world.
Mom,
I
come pick
think-
me up. I'm scared.
I think what he is trying to say is something along the lines of what I heard Callan here saying as I was waking up. It was more of watching a repeat of the situation, not having any sort of choice to do anything different.
I take out my wineskin and I offer him some.
He puts his hand up and doesn't accept it. I've had plenty in my day.
What would say you stayed here to protect here, as you said, was your new purpose. When would you deem this finally protected? That your duty was done? Or do you expect to stay here like this until any sort of last of your days or otherwise?
I believe that duty ever ends. Ends when, till our final days, and become the fairies of the woods, and become one with it once again. Much as the way of the rest of my wayward kin, those that live outside of the king's halls.
That's me.
Are you keeping it safe by doing what you are doing? Do you believe that?
I do. I really do. Removing those from this earth that would strike down an innocent.
So then we went through your test. We supposedly have failed. Now what? Are we not supposed intruders to this area by your standards?
You are indeed. He lifts up his one hand that he's sort of had down this whole time and has a dagger. Yes, you are.
There's no need for that. Leave this all behind. You've done your work. It takes its toll on you. Each stranger you test, you fall more and more into darkness until that is all that will consume you. You will become a thrall of the shadow. And then you will no longer be able to protect these woods. And in fact, you may become the very force that seeks to destroy them, should you fall far enough.
I agree.
Persuasion check.
22.
22. So he sits there staring at the fire and his dagger sort of shimmering. Posture check.
Whee! Oh, I did a stretch instead, and it was glorious. Everything cracked.
Oh.
Thank you for that, because I am terrible when I'm DMing. I'm always down like this.
Yeah.
Z stares at the fire and his dagger in front of it with the light glancing off of it. He flips it around, grabs it, facing the other direction. "8 years. It's been gone for 8 years. It feels like an eternity." He looks up past the fire and on the other side of the camp. And you didn't see there before, but now you see glowing yellow eyes looking back probably about 10, 15 feet up. Then a movement in a large Huron slowly moves into the encampment, looking down at all of you.
Hello.
What would you have me do? It's not enough anymore. The tree sort of moves to the left, and the branches and the leaves shift with it in the wind. You hear a low rumble. It doesn't speak. You don't discern any audible language coming from it, but you hear sort of a rumble and creaks coming from it. I know you mourn as much as I do. Not a day goes by where I'm not sorry. He looks at all of you. Back up to the Huron. But I'm afraid my time has come. He takes the dagger and throws it into the earth. It's time for me to head west. I've done all that I can for this place.
Time to go home.
Hopefully. I'll head west. As long as you promise me that you'll care for this land. You'll protect its creatures and its people. And he looks over at the Huron. Care for that one too. It is all I had left to remember her by. The tree sort of leans over, makes some low grumbles, and he reaches up and like grabs a branch gently, and then lets it go. It's okay, my friend. It's okay.
I hop up and I give a bow to the tree and I say, I am Callan here. Pleasure to meet you.
it responds with a it creaks back and forth. It understands you. It
Well-
speaks most of the Elven tongue. Unfortunately, it cannot speak. I found it as a sapling shortly after I found her. Probably the last of her line. Well, I'm sorry for what I've done, though. Finding me, I doubt, is why you were here.
No, in fact, we were tracking. There's a conspiracy of darkness that threatens to ensnare the region, and we seek to squash it. Part of that is tracking missing supplies that went missing on the river running.
Well, I did ensnare a few traders a few weeks ago.
Was there anyone there by the name, Saxolf?
I did not exchange pleasantries. I apologize, though I do have their stuff. There's a large gathering of things I've taken from people who have failed the test.
Well,
You're more than welcome to it.
we'll see to it. You
Very well.
head home.
Thank you. Again, I'm truly sorry. He picks up a backpack that was on the ground next to a log. He looks up at the Huron, places his hand on the trunk, closes his eyes for a moment, takes a breath, takes it away, and he walks off into the woods.
Ooh, wow, it's been a long time since I've been that serious, and I take out my wineskin and I just drink a whole bunch of it.
Everyone gets lost once in a while after suffering something like that or experiencing.
I look at the Huron, and I offer it my wineskin.
It takes a branch and loops through like the leather band that you have that go around a belt and just lifts it up and takes a bit and like splashes it on its leaves and puts it back down.
I like you. You know how to have a good time. I think we'll be friends.
Do I know with Anelia, with her lore and studies and whatnot, does she know any sort of like poetry that might fancy the Huron? Or something about them that's kind of like nice, or something nice and calming, like even a lullaby.
Probably. Just give me a lore check. Just don't ask me to know a Tolkien poem off the.
No.
my
Just does she know something? Is basically the question.
Unless you're
Oh,
rolling
come
natural.
on! My rolls have sucked tonight. I just want to be my good scholarly elf.
No.
Anyways, okay. Well then, she, not remembering anything and realizing she doesn't know much, she's just going to walk up. She's gonna stand up from where she was sitting and bound, and she's gonna walk up slowly to the Huron and gently place a hand on, I'm assuming, like the bark of his leg or something. And she's just going to give a really soft, pleasant, like greeting in Quenya.
I'm just doing this because I had this prepared.
You had a battle map ready.
I don't fucking know, man.
I was waiting for it. I wasn't sure.
Those persuasion checks. As Anelia sort of touches the Huron, I just nonchalantly say, "Oh yeah, that part of the Huron, they consider it to be a private. You probably shouldn't touch it there."
You are ruining it, Callan here. I'm trying to say hi.
I have to let all this stress out from that seriousness. It's been too long since I've been to a proper feast, and that feast wasn't even a real one. It was a memory.
So, for those of you that go over and investigate the stash of stuff he has, you find crates and boxes and sacks all about, bearing various markings. The one you do happen to recognize as the same symbol that you saw in the memory of the wine cellar, for what that's worth.
I'm gonna take a bottle of wine, refill my wineskin with it.
So as you guys go through the findings here, it is considered a hoard. So there are rules behind that. For those of you that want to make a magical treasure checks, you may.
Oh yeah, I got the thing.
I got the thing.
I got the evaluate treasure thing.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there.
Almost.
So what you do initially find, with various groupings of coin and silvers, various trinkets, you find about 100 gold pieces in terms of value from the hoard.
That's total.
Yeah. Total to be split, essentially.
Yeah, 25.
If you so choose to split it. So it is a hoard. In order to make a magical treasure roll, you'd have to expend inspiration.
Oh, hang on. I got something for Lindsay here. Where is it?
Oh yeah. Right, because that's.
There's also doesn't work when it's the player giving it.
Oh.
That's
800. What am I supposed to do with it?
Come to the other streams.
It's all good.
All I can make you is drink and posture check on those. I can't make you roll.
I will also point out, I think there is a character in here that can give inspiration.
Oh, does that kind of inspiration work for this?
Look, the inspiration rules so far in this game are so vague that there's DM inspiration, there's inspiration dice, which are gift dice, which can be used for inspiration. So
Scholars also can give inspiration.
right, and other than that, it's been very rare for just general things to give out inspiration, like in terms of like the campaign or story or doing. So I'm gonna count it because otherwise, I feel like inspiration never happens.
Right, Lindsay, I will worship gift you. I will inspire you to find something good for us.
Okay.
That's my
So
last gift die.
I went to read my evaluate treasure feature only to open it and see that it's blank. So I have no idea how this works.
Is that from the
Okay.
Cole rulebook?
It's from the
No, it's from
Rivendell
Rivendell.
region.
Never mind. I don't.
Well, I have that up, so if
I
you're
have
the
no
only
idea.
one with inspiration right now, so you can go ahead and make a magical treasure check. Go ahead and roll a d20, please.
Natural 20. Natural 20.
Cute.
You could add.
11.
You could add a D8.
Nope.
Remember?
Nope.
Oh,
She
that's
expends the
right.
inspiration to make this roll.
Oh.
An 11. So before I continue, I will tell you what your feature gives you because you don't have it written down.
I don't know why I don't have it.
Where is it? Artificer.
Treasure.
The Artificer of Arion. Evaluate treasure. You recognize the runes and secret symbols employed by the Artificer of old that mark their work. When you discover a hoard during an adventuring phase, you may treat the hoard rating as being one more than normal, affording you the opportunity to spend an additional hit dice to make another magical roll. So this hoard was rated as 1, which usually allots you to not allow a reroll. So if you would like to reroll, you can do so because now you're treating it as hoard level 2, but only for the fact that you can reroll.
And that's just by spending a hit dice.
Yes, you have to expend 2 hit dice to do it.
Oh, 2. I thought it said 1.
It will afford you the opportunity to spend additional hit dice to make another magical roll. And if I go back to the rules for magical horse, now we're just discussing rolls.
Oh my god.
This is a crime.
A horde rating of 2, which is what you're considering this to be. If you are eligible, you may spend 2 hit dice to ignore this result and roll again.
So the evaluate treasure just allows me to add 1 to the rating.
Yes.
Okay.
So higher ratings would allow you more rerolls if you so choose. But since this was originally rated as 1, it normally does not allow rerolls. But your ability treats it as a 2.
Which allows 2 hit dice for reroll.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess I will reroll. Good thing I got my hit dice back, I guess.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can reroll or not. An 11 isn't necessarily bad. I haven't told you what you might have found, so it's up to you if you want to take that risk.
Bum, bum, bum.
I might as well do it.
Well, hang on. I want to see if I have to tell you what you find first, because that would. I was looking this up earlier. Yeah, I think you're allowed to pass on it, so I think I can just tell you what it is, and we'll treat it as that. So you would find essentially ordinary treasure, so you find some additional treasure that would be worth of gold value, potentially. So you either pass on that roll.
I might as well, because I think we might be doing like a long rest or something soon, so
Yep.
I'll just get them all back.
Okay. So expend them dice and roll another d20.
No.
19.
He just buried his hands, his face in his
I
hands.
know, I saw him bury his hands and I was like, oh god, I messed up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
It's one of my favorite videos. What?
I love that.
What?
Hey!
Hey, what?
See,
Okay,
I need to
suck my
roll a
presidential cock, bitch.
d6. Whoops. Okay. Well, all right. All right. All right. Okay, you find an artifact.
Palantir. Oh.
No.
Not a good track record with those.
Do it again. Do it again.
An artifact.
Yes, a wondrous artifact.
Ooh.
And by wondrous artifact, it's slightly similar to the circlet you are wearing. So let's see. You find you find a elven smithing hammer.
Yay!
That's really cool.
And I will send you the specifics behind that separately. But out of the whole horde, and luckily it was not touched by Shadow, everybody finds a total of 100 gold pieces, the stolen goods, the wine, the metal, and everything else that Var said had gone missing. And Anelia finds a elven smithing's hammer. And that is where we are going to...
This is so much worth almost drowning for.
Really?
Oh.
and that is where we're going to end tonight's session, as it was a bit of a roller coaster,
Holy
and
cow.
that came to its proper conclusion. We will pick up again next week as you guys get back to Lake Town and potentially Dale, depending on what you're doing with the metal and everything, and
What
go
if we
further
just
from there.
stay here with the hearing? We
Well,
could
then
just
you're-
like sit
then
by
you-
the fire and sing Kumbaya.
Then you're rolling new characters, and we're starting up something else next week because their story ends. All right. So thank you all for joining us this evening. I hope you enjoyed this wacky
Madness.
time travel backstory of everything to try and figure out what's going on. We'll be back next week. Can catch Lindsay tomorrow, and we have other streams throughout the week. So go ahead and follow us if you haven't joined the Discord, and keep a lookout for our Super Brawl to spoof the Super Bowl. Get it? Hey, that's all for us. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.